I'm Ben Lance, Executive Advisor to APC Media. That would include Power Systems Technology Magazine, Transformer Technology Magazine, and Women in Power Systems Magazine. We're here today in Paris, France at the CIGRE 2024 conference, talking with industry thought leaders, interviewing them to gain their insights into the trends, challenges, and solutions, and bringing those insights to you. My next guest is Jacco Smit. Welcome, Jacco.
Thank you, Ben.
And Jacco is the Senior Technical Advisor for Cables and Lines for TenneT. That's for the Netherlands and Germany.
Correct.
And also the National Advisor for CIGRE and the voting member for the chair for the Netherlands as well.
Correct.
Excellent. Jacco, we've known each other for many years, but tell me, how did you get into the industry?
Now, that was after University of Delft. I graduated. Then I started out working in the business line.
Right.
Started at the cable manufacturer in Delft, so the same village, same thing.
So you actually worked for the cable manufacturer.
Yeah.
So you have that's where you got your in-depth knowledge of cable.
There it started.
Okay.
The spark of cables,
okay.
At least. But we don't hope to have sparking cables, otherwise they explode. But different story.
Sure.
But that is what when I started out, and then you get in contact, and the company was international. So then you also outside your own territory, your own borders. And then you came up here first time. So the first time is, let's say, 2 decades ago, more than 20 years ago. My first time, shaking, going here. But 20 years later, this is home.
This is home,
This
right.
is home.
So you presented or you just attended 20 years ago?
At the time, it was necessary because that was part of the work to be done. If you presented, that was also, let's say, a ticket to go to Paris, because otherwise everybody will go.
Right.
And we are not on holiday. No, it is tough work.
No, it is
so
work,
we need to present. We need to,
Right. So you started at the cable manufacturer. Then where did you go in your career path?
I went to the biggest end consumer, the steel company. Nowadays it's Tata Steel, but that is more in the area where I live.
Okay.
But due to economics and so on, that was only for 2 years because steel business was poor, no investment, and I was on the investment side. And then I changed to the utility side.
Okay. And
then I worked for Nuon, that it was at the time one of the biggest DSOs. You remember. With 110 and 150 kV on board, medium voltage, low voltage. And there I worked for 13 years. Always connected to CIGRE, for working groups and so on. And now, after this period of 13 years, I am now 10 years at TenneT.
Okay.
TenneT. Different positions, but now indeed in the function of what is senior, but senior due to experience, cables and lines.
Excellent, excellent, fantastic. Well, and we've been speaking with other thought leaders in the industry, and that's one of the challenges that we're facing is attracting young people. But we have an exciting industry right now, and your story, I think, lays out where we could potentially bring people in. That they can start at perhaps even just the manufacturer or product, moving to utilities, but having both, having that product experience and then the utility experience and putting it together. Well, you've made a whole career out of it, and you're still passionate about it.
True.
That's great.
And I still.
So
the spark is still there.
That's right. So speaking of challenges, from your perspective, from a utility perspective, what do you see as some of the biggest challenges, especially for cables and lines? That's where you're.
True. First of all, the energization, electrification goes too fast, too rapidly, because in the, let's say, the past 100 years, we did it our way. We will building grids, we will extending the grids. But there was no congestion. There were no pressure on Mother Nature. And it already now for 10 years we do the pressure on Mother Nature, and we change for decarbonization. We have end goals 2050. But the old grid is still there. But now the feeding in the old grid comes not from top down, but it is dispersed.
The distributed energy.
It's everywhere.
Right.
So you can imagine when you have a street from the old days, with many people in the beginning of the street, your cable or your line is bigger. At the end of the street, maybe 1 or 2 houses, the cable will be smaller. There's economics, because it's cost and we need to pay. So the cable size beginning big, at the end it is smaller.
Right.
But now we start to do solar panels at the end, wind farms coming in the end. But now we need to replace. And that replacement in the crowded areas where we are with each other, that brings pressure.
Right, right.
Colleagues, you were saying it right. We have a lot of colleagues working. They are going to retirement. Talking decades ago, our business was not so sexy.
That's right.
IT was.
Right.
Banking, financing,
Right.
it was what it was. But now we need people.
Right.
On board them. Now, and then we started, okay, we do all hiring and manpower at medium technical jobs, high technical jobs, university, all kind of schooling. But you don't learn it in the book. You need to go out there, explore. And I'm always exploring.
Right, right.
And that is the big advice, explore. Because the grid does not come to you, you have to go into the grid.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I think I'll quote that.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So the challenges from your perspective are not only the distributed energy and the reversal of that power flow and how are those aging assets going to handle that, but also getting people excited. But we have an exciting industry to attract people, the sustainability, the distributed energy, and there's lots of technology too that's associated with that, right?
Yeah.
So what are some of the solutions that TenneT is looking to, or you're excited about?
Yeah. Now what we see, it is not only electricity, because it is about what will be the backbone for that we can live what we do, that we have internet everywhere, that we can use electricity whatever we want. So it is not only an electricity point, but also molecules like the hydrogen. That will be there. So it will be a combination of electricity and hydrogen, which will come to market. And where is the conversion point? Where you do it offshore, that you make hydrogen from wind farms directly, or you do it onshore. That is what is happening now. So it will be a combination, meaning we need to work together with other industries, because it is not only electricity.
Right.
We need hydrogen and other kind of sources. So cooperation.
So solutions, other forms of energy that needed to cooperate with
standardization. Standardization is mandatory. People say it's key, it is mandatory. Because if we did it, what we did in the past decades, then it was tailor-made. But tailor-made means that from production point of view, you have to adjust all your equipment in the production location. Because now I have this cable, then this cable, this cable. But if you standardize, in the long run, that is cheaper. You are more flexible in project for installations. If a project delays, you can use the same cable in another project. You can also think about that if we extend by a lot of products, that is what we do, big grid, big products. But if we are delayed due to whatever reason, maybe we can financially give the cable to another company which can make use of it in the same time, which we don't need. So intercooperation, standardization.
I see. Okay. And well, CIGRE is not a standards organization. It has a very big impact on the standards, right?
Yeah.
And so tell me, you've been coming to CIGRE for many years now. So what do you see happening now that gets you excited about what CIGRE is doing, and maybe even this conference here? What is it?
Indeed. We rely on standards, IEEE, IEC, national standards, codes. That's what we did. What we now do is that first we have a working group. And the working group writes a brochure about a certain technical challenge.
Right.
In the long run, this can be input for a new standard, for a new norm, IEEE, IEC. But that time, then we have to go to industry. That takes more time. What we do as TenneT also now is make reference to working groups, outcomes, and technical brochures. And that's what we use in tenders, procedures.
Okay.
And in time, it will work out that our National Standardization Committee will pick it up, and then they will make the adoption to new standards.
So you see CIGRE has a function of accelerating the knowledge, and in where standards will take some time to catch up.
Yeah, and that lies also in the fact that CIGRE is big worldwide. But it is about expertise. And if in the Netherlands, for instance, there is no expertise or small expertise, but in Australia is, then better use that expertise for the use in the Netherlands or whatever in Europe or whatever place, and not place your cards on your chest. No, we will invent the wheel. We will invent. No, we need to
reinvent the wheel, right?
Yeah,
We don't need to do that.
No. So we working together.
Yes,
Friendships, long term.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. Yeah, that's what it's all about. Relationships, right?
Yeah.
CIGRE is a big part of it.
That's key. That is
Excellent. Fantastic. Well, this has been very enlightening to see what not only your perspective is, but from the perspective of your experience at TenneT. Any final comments to our review of your experience and where the industry is headed?
Now, first of all, it makes me proud, so to say. Sometimes I need to look, because I'm Dutchman, I need to look for words, and proud is maybe not a word.
Oh
but
no, it sounds great.
I like these kind of interviews,
right?
Because then you are really able to share your thoughts, your things, work together. And what I especially like also, Ben, we know each other for a long time. Right. I've been in the US at the ICC, for instance. And that is not only bringing, but also retrieving. It needs to be bi-directional. And it can only be if we join it together. So that's what I like. And go out there. The grid does not come to you. Go into the grid.
That's the quote. That's the quote. Excellent.
Come out of your ivory tower. Go down.
Well, great. It's great to have you here out of your ivory tower. In this
Thank
conversation.
you, sir. Thank you, sir.
It's been a pleasure, Jacco.
Thank you, man.
Yes.
Yeah.